On the 19th of September 2021, I was standing on the start line of the Bristol 10k. After suffering with injuries all year, I had barely 4 weeks of training under my belt, and very little of that was actual running. I wasn't expecting much, but I was hoping to at least run under 40 minutes. My best time is currently 37:24, which I ran in 2017. To understand how I got myself into this situation, I need to take you back 6 weeks. So yesterday I entered the Bristol 10k, which is on the 19th of September. So I have 6 weeks to train, which is not much time at all. I mean, that's even less than I had for my sub-5-minute mile challenge. So Becky, what do you reckon I can run?
I reckon you probably could do a 38.
What, like a high 38?
Yeah, low 38.
I'm going to be a bit more pessimistic. I think I'm going to run about 38:50, something like that. Wait a minute, didn't I say I only did 4 weeks training, but initially had 6 weeks to train? Well, training didn't go as smoothly as I'd hoped. Let me take you back to explain. I went over on my ankle again. My left ankle, the one that I injured about 2 months ago that still was healing. It felt so painful and I was limping, I could barely walk. Yeah, I can see it swollen. I probably won't be able to run again now. I don't know when, it's gonna be months. Okay, so maybe I was being a little over dramatic, but at the time I really thought it was game over. With just a week's rest, I was able to start running again, but slowly. At this point, there were only about 3 weeks left until race day, and I was feeling very unfit. I was hoping to get into some more quality sessions, but my calf started playing up again, so I was only able to run 1 to 2 times a week. I did some swimming and biking to try and make up for the lack of training, but it's not the same and could never replace a run. So, in short, my preparation was abysmal. As you can see here, I was weaving my way through runners for the first kilometre or so, which was a little exhausting. It took me about 40 seconds to cross the start line, so there were a lot of runners ahead of me at that point. To make matters worse, after 1 kilometre, the half marathon runners merged into the 10k runners. Did I mention there was a half marathon taking place, on the same route at the same time? This year, the organisers decided to run both events together on the same day. Normally, the 10k event takes place in May and the half marathon in September. They started us in waves, 30 minutes apart, There were 3 waves for the half marathon and 2 for the 10k. I was in the red wave, which started after the 3 half marathon waves. So for the rest of the race, most of the runners you will see are actually running the half marathon. To be honest, I found this more of a hindrance than a help. It was hard to tell who was in my race, and I still had to weave around the half marathon runners as I caught them. So this guy, who I'm going to refer to as the bag guy, I mean, I'm impressed he was able to run so well while carrying that bag, but really? I'm sure he would have run much faster without it. Plus, it was really distracting watching it swing back and forward constantly. At this point, I was only about 3k into the race and I was already feeling pretty exhausted. I think the combination of very little training, the heat, it was a very hot day for September, and the stressful start were all starting to take their toll. I decided to ease off a little on the pace and try to soak up the atmosphere instead.
Good run, everybody.
Okay, so I still hadn't managed to shake off Bad Guy. I was feeling the heat too much to dig in and push past him earlier in the race, but we were nearly 8 kilometers in at this point and I wasn't going to let him beat me. So I made my move here and pushed past. Seeing all the runners on the other side gave me a bit of a boost to try and push on for the last kilometre or so to the finish line.
who says the little red morphsuit. You picked the wrong day for that. It's a bit
Keep
hot.
walking it off. Heads up. Walking it off.
Come on! Come on! You're doing amazing!
It felt horrible. So unfair at the moment.
Whatever your distance, it's all about being back here in the heart of Bristol. It's such a good feeling, it's simple to see.
At least I finished the bloody thing. Yeah, that's me. Small one, thank you. Feeling pretty tired now. I got to about 8k and my calf was starting to twinge a bit. It managed to get to the end, so the main goal really was just to finish today without tearing my calf again. So that's one thing, but it was incredibly slow. According to my watch, about 42 minutes, so slower than what would have been a training run earlier this year, which is annoying, but I can't do anything about that. I think I was just struggling with the heat, it's too hot. But I really started to struggle from about 3k, felt really lethargic, and I just wanted to jump in a nice cold pool because it was so hot. I'm really annoyed about how slow that was, but happy to do it though, and it's a beautiful day. I mean, look at it. It was supposed to be raining today and it was supposed to be cloudy. These are the docks, and Bristol on a day like this, it's just beautiful. You can see over here, that's the SS Great Britain. In a nutshell, that's what you get for not training properly for 10k. You get about 41-42 minutes. My best time's 37 minutes, so you can see how much slower that is. So I need to try and, I'm gonna have a break now, let my calf rest. So I had about 8 or 9 days complete rest, and this week just gone, I ran on the Tuesday and I ran on Friday, and I'm going to run today. I was so annoyed about how slow my time was. The reason it bugged me is mostly because that would have been a training run a few months ago or earlier this year, and it would have felt a lot easier. So what I really wanted to do was to go out again after about 2 weeks and just see if I could run the same time or even faster, but without it feeling like flat out effort, you know, like a strong steady run, which is what I'm planning to do today. And actually, to be honest, my legs feel like absolute crap. I don't know why. I've got all sorts of niggles, my calf's still sore, I've got this sort of hip flexor thing going on where it feels really sore. I don't know, to be honest, don't feel that good. But what I want to try and do is on this cycle track here, do basically an out and back, start up this way, do just under 3 miles that way, come back past here, do about 3.5 miles going this way, so finish about half a mile or so that way. My average pace 2 weeks ago turned out to be 6:45 a mile, which is incredibly slow. The first 5k was about a minute and a half quicker than the second 5k, so the first 5k my pace was about 6:30 mile pace. The second 5k it was actually closer to 7-minute mile pace. I'm going to warm up, do the 10k, see what happens, and I'll talk to you afterwards.
For some reason my GoPro didn't record the audio, So I'll try and summarise what I was saying. I felt much stronger this time around. It was cooler, I didn't have to dodge any other runners, well, except for a few walkers. Plus, I didn't have to run with a camera strapped to my head. According to Strava, I ran 1 minute and 14 seconds faster than I did at the Bristol 10k, so I'm pleased with that. My fastest mile split was just over 6 minutes. Okay, it was on a slight downhill gradient, but I'll take that. And I actually ran the second half quicker. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.